This is Scratch Your Own Itch, the one show that delivers the conversations that we're afraid to share, but need to. This show is all about creating a life worth living. I'm Logan Tyler Nelson, and I'm your host. So, you're going to hear conversations with creators and entrepreneurs talk about what they do, their current and past traumas, how they became who they are, and what they are truly curious about. This is the show where we talk about the things we think about a lot, but need to talk about more. Please take note that this show is not a substitute for actually creating a life worth living, because this show will stir your beliefs, make you question what it means to create a life worth living. So my promise to you is to always give you one question to answer for yourself today to start turning your dreams into a reality. Hey, ladies and gents, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast. I know you can be listening to so many other things right now. Music, you can be watching YouTube, you could be listening to audiobooks, but you came in here, and I want to let you know that, you came here for a reason. And that means that you can do something. Do something big. Take something from this. Not just listen to it as, self-help sort of entertainment and jargon, but I really want you first to take 5 seconds for me to just take one deep inhale and one deep exhale and know that everything is going to be all right. So, all right, let's get into this. We have an awesome guest on today. His name is Jay Andrews. He's a speaker and he's a thought leader. And he's actually in the business of life coaching, which is how do you coach someone's life and not be a godly figure yourself? How do you do that? So we're going to dive deep into that sort of conversation. He also has built a LinkedIn following, which I think is very valuable for anybody that's maybe trying to build an audience and build an online presence for themselves. So we're going to also dive into that and have a conversation kind of about how he markets himself on LinkedIn and what's working and what's not. So let's get to know Jay. Give a huge warm welcome to the one and only Jay Andrews.
Well, thank you for having me, Logan. I truly appreciate it. Those are some kind words you just said there earlier.
Yeah, man. Okay. I want to just kind of jump into it. Let's reverse engineer this ship, and let's get a small short story from your life, as fast as you can, that kind of brought you to where you are today and why you're doing what you're doing.
Sure. So, it really, if you really want me to give you the Coles Notes version of it, I was like most people out there. I was, had the job, had the career, relationship, money, all those things, and I was essentially living in the matrix. I was just focused on what I thought could be important things, but really in the grand scheme of things now weren't obviously as important as I see things today. 9 years ago, that's when, as they did in the movie, you could take the red or the blue pill, and my life forever changed 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I was diagnosed with a blood disorder that there is no cure for. Essentially, my life expectancy will be 70. This disorder is my body absorbs iron 3 times the rate of anyone else normally. This then causes the iron to deposit in major organs within the body. Again, there is no cure for it. There is no magic pill. There's nothing like that can change it. And shortly after being diagnosed with this disorder, actually to be 3 weeks to be exact, I was involved in a very serious car accident that should have claimed my life. There was no medical reason why I'm actually alive today. I was told to I was told that I would not be able to run again. I was told I would walk with difficulty. I did suffer permanent damage to my lower back and frontal lobe damage to my brain. That all being said, I now run 5, 10 half marathons. I walk fine. I do have lower back pain constantly, but I've learned to adapt and live with it. And while I was going through rehab, during the course of almost a year to train my body the left side of my body, how to move again, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I beat that. So there's the quick Coles notes of those 3 things that transformed my life into what I'm currently doing today.
Wow. I don't know if there's anyone else out there that's gotten that sort of news before, and it might be hitting him the heart. I kind of want to dive a little bit into how important it is, because I feel like now that there's a deadline, how important it is that once there's a deadline now that you kind of start living your life. Am I wrong about that?
You're not actually. You just don't snap your fingers and it just happens instantly, right? I mean, there's a lot of inner searching, depression. There's a lot of things, but once you've kind of got yourself through all these things, you really have a laser focus. And once you understand what your why is, then yeah, you have a sense of purpose, right? Oh, I think we all do, to be honest. We all do. Sometimes we don't find that sense of purpose until we're 65. Some people are very fortunate that they find that sense of purpose, in their 20s, maybe even earlier than that. But I do believe that every person on this planet has a purpose or has a why. And for me, I think the greatest blessing that ever happened to me was being diagnosed 9 years ago with this disorder. There's a breath of fresh air, if I can use that term, knowing what your expiration date is. You really see the world in a different lens. It's hard to explain. Being part of a fraternity of cancer survivors, they all talk about you just see the world differently. And I don't think it's allocated just for people who've survived cancer. I think if you've gone through some traumatic experience and you've managed to get through it, then you should see the world in a different lens. And for me, I know that I got a solid 25 years ahead of me, and I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to leave a legacy behind. The legacy won't be seen through the eyes of my children, but hopefully through my grandchildren. That's the generation that will see it.
So what's something that I think most people don't really know about you? Because I know you put a lot out there online, but what's something that in your process of life coaching, for example,
Mm-hmm.
what's something that people can actually feel now comfortable, really coming out and opening up with some deep, dark, let's call them, I don't know, maybe spider webs or demons inside them. What's something that most people don't know about you?
That's a good question. I am pretty much an open book. I will talk about pretty much anything. I think transparency is super important, and with that transparency, being that genuine, authentic type person. I think when it comes to myself, what is something that people would not know about me? I can find something comical or something that's lighthearted that some people don't know. Like, I used to be in a band. I used to be a singer and play guitar in a band. That was great, and we were actually pretty popular at the time. But that was a lifetime ago. That was when I was younger, high school type of thing. But I think we all, I'm not special. We all come from different experiences. It's understanding the human nature and the human culture that essentially is a blueprint for most people. And if you are tapped into that and you have that emotional intelligence about yourself to understand that, then you actually can speak to anyone, and you can be sympathetic, you can have empathy, you can have understanding. It's actually knowing who you are as a person and being comfortable in your skin. Because once that comfortability is there, then you can really truly come and see people in an honest manner.
Oh man, that's huge. That's that's really interesting. So, what is your role then? Would you say what are you trying to accomplish with a new client within the first month of them signing up for your service as sort of a as a guidance?
Well, it really, I mean, every situation is different, right? Not there. There really is no twin out there in a situation, because every individual on this beautiful blue planet of ours is unique. And even if you are a biological twin, you're still unique. And so every situation is unique. There may be similarities, but for me, I look at the situation and I'm like, what is it that you are looking for? What is it that, what am I the key that's going to help you unlock that door? If that's the case, well, let's talk about what that key is going to look like. And I'm not here to give answers. I'm here to work with somebody to help them find the answer, because Logan, every single person has an answer within them. They do. Everyone's looking for an answer. You know what? Stand in the mirror and look at yourself. The answer is inside of you. A coach is there, or is supposed to be there, to help you find that answer within yourself. If you are out there, anyone listening right now, if you have a coach right now and they're actually giving you the answers, they're not a coach. That's a teacher. Teacher tells you things. Teacher puts things in front of you, gives you the information. But what happens when that teacher is gone, and then you are faced with resilience or adversity of some sort? You're going to be like, well, I'm looking for the answers, but a coach will give you the tools and set you up, because the tools came with inside of you. So when adversity presents itself in front of you, you'll know what to do.
Man, that's so huge. Oh, I love that. Jay, I just want to really pinpoint that. Like, a teacher's telling you what to do, gives them the homework, and then they come home and go, look at what I did. I did this algorithm, or I solved the problem for X, and then a coach, if I'm getting this right, really guides them and sort of steers the ship by questioning them and questioning the things that they need to be asked, even though sometimes the answer may not be very desirable. Let's say that.
Yeah, like I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you can.
No, I was just about to say is that, I've had clients, and on the heels of what you were alluding to and saying, is that sometimes those answers sometimes you don't want to hear it, and sometimes it's actually more difficult to actually say it. But there is strength in acknowledging something that is uncomfortable, because then the uncomfortable becomes comfortable, and then you can move past it.
Man, that's gorgeous. Man, I want to switch shifts a little bit though.
Sure.
Like do a little shift steering, because I think it's really important that people do get a brand started, and you've started your brand on LinkedIn. So I kind of want to hear, what are your tactics? Like, how many times a day are you posting? What are you posting about? Who are you tagging in your comments? Why are you tagging them? Are you doing any paid sponsorships or paid advertising? So yeah, let's kind of go behind the curtain of a day in the life of Jay Andrews on LinkedIn?
Sure, no problem. I think it's first and foremost, I think to have a balance with what is important in your life and what you're doing with your life is you need to make sure that you allot time for certain things. So for myself, when it comes to LinkedIn, I allot about 2 hours a day. Sometimes that actually might be less, and other times it might be a bit more. But it's super important to make sure, treat it like you're having a business meeting. If it ends early, fantastic. If it goes a little over, it can only go over a slight, because it keeps you on task. It keeps you focused. So with myself, keeping the time limit is very, very important. Another big thing is, unless it's super, I don't want to say super important, but if I feel that it's necessary to say something, say on the weekend, I will post or say something on the weekend. I believe that Saturdays and Sundays, I know everyone who is out there, they own a business, or they're an entrepreneur, or they work for a company and sometimes they have to work on weekends. I understand all that, but there's got to be a time where you're just like, you know what, I'm unplugging, and I'm actually going to be plugged in to the people and the groups around me. So I try to maintain a Saturday, Sunday celibacy, like I'm off. I try, I may comment here and there. And people chastise me and they're like, you got to be hustling 7 days a week. And no, you don't. This is a misconception. I've actually lengthy conversations with people over this. And just because, quote unquote, they say you need to be hustling 24/7, 365 days, 7 days a week, who are they? When did all of a sudden that become the rule? If you talk to anyone who does that all the time, they always burn out. And where's the fun in that? You're in here to actually make a difference. And that's what when I do my postings, that's what my content is. I leave thought-provoking messages. I speak in analogies all the time. I swear I'm going to be near my deathbed and all I'll be doing is talking analogies. But I think it's people understand and really can comprehend, especially if it's a heavy topic, if you are talking in analogies. It brings it down to a level that everyone can understand without people thinking that they're either being spoken down to or you're questioning anyone's intellect on anything. And for myself, I post 4 days out of 5, and one of the days, and out of those 4 days, they are video. I keep my messages to 45 seconds to a minute. So I try to get, I hate that word. So I'm going to remove that. I apologize. I get my message out there, focused, say what I have to say, make sure that people can understand, they comprehend the message. I do it in under a minute. And then on Fridays, I essentially put a spotlight on some of the absolutely incredible people on LinkedIn, and I call it the Fantastic Four. And that's out every Friday. And the beautiful thing is that everyone that I showcase is part of a network, a very diverse network of mine, and no one ever knows who's going to be showcased. I just throw it out there. I don't leak it. I don't tell anybody. And I'm there to showcase how great they are. And then in turn, people that I'm connected with, they see some more connections that I have that they're not connected with. And then this huge ripple effect starts happening. And the collaborations that I've heard that have gone on since people, tune in every Friday to see who these people are, it's incredible. And that makes me feel so good that all this incredible connections are happening. And I've had a slight hand in that. I'm not looking for accolades of any sort. I'm just happy to see that solely people are connecting and collaborating and getting to know each other and helping each other out. And that's huge, because at the end of the day, that is my why. And my why is to positively affect one person a day. And that fills my why. I can put my head down at night, close my eyes, and I'm okay, because I know that I've done that.
Man, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man.
Thank you.
I think what you're doing right there is like, it's so important, so important, because your net worth, not just like financially, but your net worth in the sense of spiritually, wealth wise, health wise, is really your net worth. I mean, really, like, things don't make people happy, people make people happy. And I just want to round it out with 2 more questions.
Sure.
To try to keep it short and concise and let people get the education and run with it, So where is a place that you'd like to send more people if they want to learn more about Jay Andrews?
Yeah, I always tell people LinkedIn is a great place. All my other avenues that you want to get in touch with me, all the other social media, all the links are there. It's, contact me, send me a note. I am always available to help others. That's why I'm here, right? I'm here to be that person to make everyone level up. No one should ever feel that they're alone. No one should ever feel that their struggle is not worth knowing, that their story is not worth knowing. Everyone's story is worth hearing. Everyone's got a story to tell, and everyone can learn from everyone. So I implore people to reach out, contact me, and I'm always there to help.
I love it. I will put that in the show notes. We'll let technology do its job, and you guys can do a click of the finger and find more about Jay Andrew on his LinkedIn and connect with him. And please do. He's super responsive. One heck of a guy, and I want to acknowledge him because he is someone who is really just, he doesn't try to be nice. He just has this huge angelic heart. And he has this thing that happens, I think, with every single person that touches them. They just become more nice when they're around him. And they become more kind and giving. And I see that on a really weird level where it happens on social media, where people have the ability to be very robotic and unauthentic. But when they come around him, they become who they were meant to be, their true selves, and to give and to be kind. So thank you, Jay, for that.
Thank you. That was so kind. Those are beautiful words, and I really appreciate that. I just wanted to add one thing. It was so on the heels of what you said. I was speaking with someone just last week on one of their podcasts, and we were chatting, and we were talking about finances, right? Like what you're worth or what self-worth is, and I was saying that if you looked at, say, all the 100% genuine things and giving of people and helping people out and just giving of oneself, if that actually had a dollar amount, I'd probably be a billionaire. And they just kind of paused when I said that to them. It's like, it just like we all have to financially make a living, but at the end of the day, it's priceless is what the giving and being so genuine about it, that to me is what you can put your head down, and that is what you can rest assured and get up every morning and you say to yourself, I'm back and I'm ready to give again and I'm ready to make a difference. And that is worth billions. That is worth millions, right? I just had to share it because I really feel sometimes that when I see people positively changing, and the impact, just a conversation I've had with them, or perhaps it's when I've coached them, what they have done and what they're doing, and how much they've changed. It's just like, I feel like I'm the richest man in the world. It's pretty incredible.
That is awesome, man. Huge smile. So let's I would love to talk to you obviously for another hour, dude, but I really want to give people their time of day. And quickly, what's one little piece of homework that you could send someone with, just so they can start finding maybe their core why, or something that they can do to try to unlock themselves.
Okay, I'll give you a quick thing, and this is an easy thing to do. So I want people to do this. Grab yourself a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper, I want you to write on the left-hand side in, and on the right-hand side, I want you to write out. And then set a timer on your device or what have you for 10 minutes. And then hit start. And for 10 minutes, I want you to write everything that makes you the greatest person ever. What makes you light up? What makes you just being your favorite things you absolutely love to do? And don't hold anything back. Be honest and be true to yourself. Everything that makes you you in a very positive manner. Write all that down. And as soon as that little chime goes off, stop. Reset it for 10 minutes. And then hit start, and then write down on the outs everything that takes you away from doing all the stuff that you love. Write it all out. It could be somebody at work talks your ear off all the time and you can never get anything done. It could be your parents always call you at the most ridiculous times and it takes away your energy and your focus. It could be a partner who's always asking for your advice at the wrong time. Whatever it is, write it all out. And when you're done, and when that alarm goes off, stop. Put that piece of paper away and give yourself 48 hours. Don't even look at it. Let it go. So ideally, you want to do this on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You just keep doing your thing. Monday morning, when you get up first thing, have that cup of coffee, tea, whatever it is that you're having, pull that sheet out and pick one thing on the ins that you're going to do that week and one thing on the outs that you're going to stop. Now, here's the thing. Each one of those ins and outs, you have 7 days to accomplish it. Now, some things on that in and out list might be actually pretty big. So you have one opportunity to allocate 30 days to get something done. But that's it. So be very choosy on what's going to be that 30-day thing. This little exercise could take you a month to finish, 6 months, a year. But at the very end of the day, all those things that made you you on the inside of that piece of paper will become part of your life again, and you'll do it all the time. And all the things on the out will be gone because you've gotten rid of it. And you will truly start the transformation of your life.
Man, that's a wicked piece of homework right there. I love it, man. I think that will definitely unlock some people. Absolutely, 100%. Again, Jay, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you. I know that we will not be talking for the last time right here, right now. But until then, thank you so much for everyone that tuned in today. And please share this, or maybe just like hit the 5-star if you appreciate it. I mean, it's so easy to do that, and that's part of what Jay's talking about. Like there's a level of reward that happens to someone when they just do the small givings like that. So I mean, you help me and we'll help we. So thanks again so much, Jay, for coming on.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. This has been great.
There'll be girls across the nation that'll eat this up. Babe, I know that it's your soul, but could you bottle it up? Get down to the heart of it. No, it's my heart. Your shit out of your life. Don't make me tell you again. Woo! Love, love, love. Hey. Love, 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 love.
Wow. You made it to the very end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Scratch Your Own Itch with your host, Logan Tyler Nelson. To make it to the end, gosh, that doesn't happen very much nowadays. I mean, especially with the constant distraction. So, I appreciate all of the efforts that you just took out of your day to make it to the end. And if you hit that subscribe button and leave a review, you would have no idea what that would mean to me. So thank you so much for taking the time to hit that subscribe button. And if you leave a review, check it out. Just screenshot it, send it to me, and I'd love to host your review out on the show. But don't ever forget, like I say, you matter and you're enough.
Love is the main reason for how all this happened. Love for all my fans, love for all the shows. Got love for all my memories, no matter where I go. Even if I'm out to nothing, I know there's always something. It's not a fitness test, but it'll always